Hey guys, it's Sunday, so we hope you guys are doing well. And this is perfect timing, actually, in a way, because we live by a church, and the priest has been going on and on with his whatever they're doing
A mass
at the church.
is going on.
But they have a loudspeaker, which you've seen in some of our videos that they installed about a year, that they blasted out all throughout the neighborhood, so it doesn't just go to the church. I mean, outside the church, there's actually speakers on the sides of the church that blast all that stuff because I guess they feel that even if you don't want to go to church, well, too bad, you're going to have to hear what they're doing anyways. So, but it's Sunday, and this is kind of an odd time in a way because
This is the first time that we're
at church, and the priest has been going on and on. Yeah, we normally do these
a mass
at the church,
is going on.
but they have a loudspeaker, which you've seen in some of our videos that they reason is that they blasted during that time. But I suppose
We'll see.
I suppose I should explain. I got to work tomorrow, and we don't know what time the call time is yet. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be early. What do you think?
That's possible. So we're still waiting for the call time of that taping. So
I hope it's not early.
I know it's better that
I'm a night owl.
I know. I think it's also good that we're doing this now because we get to, see a lot of people. We usually have a lot of people in the room joining us, but it seems like everyone is really active. And even before we started this, I've been seeing a lot of messages. So, by the way, hi to all of you guys, wherever you are right now. I hope you are all doing great and enjoying the weekend.
And we have Alberta, Canada, J.R. Bjornson from Alberta, Canada. So hopefully this time is working out wherever you are in Canada. If you're on the West Coast, it's not so bad. I tried to time it. So we're going 9 p.m. West Coast. The problem, obviously, if you're on the East Coast, is it's already midnight.
Oh yeah, right. So, but if you're in the East Coast and you're still joining us right now, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. And do you want to read the messages?
I'll get to the messages in a second.
Okay.
We tend to go on these things for quite a while. We tend to go long on these things.
Sure.
But I want to give people right away something that hopefully can help them. And that's, hopefully, my friends, I hope that you're happy wherever you are. And if you're not happy, why the heck not? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for things to be perfect? Because I get all these comments, and it's amazing some of the attitudes or some of what people are thinking. It's a good thing, I guess, I have that background in psychology. My major was film, of course, but my minor is in psychology because it's interesting to see kind of the psychology of people leaving comments. When you run a rather large YouTube channel, I mean, large is relevant. Obviously, there's people, like so many more channels that are bigger than this, but I'm grateful and thankful that this has grown and matured into something this size. So, but it's amazing, I get so many comments, and it's just amazing to see what people are thinking. It's amazing that so many people are joining us live right now. But unfortunately, it seems that so many people are not happy with their life. And it's okay. It's okay to not be satisfied. That's totally fine. But I think that you have to somehow, even when things aren't perfect, you have to find a way to have fun and be happy, even if you don't have your ideal situation yet. And I'll tell you one thing I get a lot, and I'll be talking about this more in future videos, is I get a lot of complaints from people. And largely they're complaining about women. A lot of guys, they leave negative comments on this channel about American women, which I'm not real big on. And ironically, I've seen some videos lately and comments of guys that are Asian complaining. They have their complaints saying, oh, Asian women, they often want white guys and this stuff. But to all these guys are complaining, regardless of whatever your race or nationality is, especially if you're talking about getting women, but even in a bigger sense, I would say you can either be pitiful or you can be powerful, but you can't be both at the same time. And which do you think not only are women more attracted to, but just people in general? So I think when you complain as well, you're probably attracting more of whatever you're complaining about more into your life. Now, I'm not saying don't live in the clouds and be oblivious to whenever there's a problem or issue. Always be truthful, and if there's an issue, you should address it. But also, like if you're complaining, especially largely about things that you probably can't change, it's probably best to keep mum about those things. Thoughts, Imabelle?
Well, that's true. You either choose to be pitiful or to be powerful. One thing about being happy, it's actually a choice. We have to decide to be happy, and we don't have to wait until we would be happy. Does that make sense? Like whatever our circumstances, I think we just have to dwell on the positive and try to look forward to really something big and better in the future. I know that's hard to do, especially if you are really suffering right at the moment. But based on personal experience, and I think most of you can relate to what I'm going to share with you, is that if you stay hopeful and believing and keeping that faith that you know that this works well for me, of course, I'm not saying that you have to do this, but I just want to share this with you. Just knowing that God has really a big master plan for me that I can't really see the big picture yet. So even if I'm going through something difficult or something challenging at the moment, I it makes me excited. Like, okay, this is just a phase. This is but a phase, and I'm gonna get there no matter what. I know what I'm going through. This is just teach me to become better. I think that can apply to men. If you think the women around you are, have been treating you bad, then don't focus on the bad things that they've done to you. Focus on the good things they've done to you. I think, and yeah, because if you keep complaining, I think you'll just be more stressed, and you'll that won't help you look good, right?
Exactly.
It's gonna add wrinkles to your face.
Well, a lot of the things guys complain about on my channel is how feminism is taking over American women and stuff. And I don't always agree with some of modern feminists, some things in modern feminism. I agree, I like having women be able to do things. I like those aspects of feminism, definitely. But definitely, well, I'm not going to get so much into feminism right now. That's almost subject for another time. But the
Right.
bottom line, guys, is if you don't like a feminist, don't date a feminist. Not all women are like that. So don't focus. I think people focus too much on what they don't want instead of what they want. Not just about having a romantic partner, but just money or career or just life things in general. Focus on what you want, and I say ideally be specific of what you want. How do you want to get to work? Do you want to walk? Do you want to ride a bicycle? Do you want to ride the train? Do you want to drive a car? Oh, you want to drive a car? Well, what kind of car? What model? Oh, okay. What color do you want? Those things. Hopefully, you can narrow it down to a specific. But
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was sorry if I was interrupting you, but this thought just crossed my mind. Another thing is, it's not just actually men who complain about women. There are also women who would be like this. I don't wanna be committed. I don't wanna have a boyfriend. I was already hurt many times.
Play
This
girls.
and that. I mean, and they tend to think that men are just the same. They're just playboys. They're not sincere. But if you dwell on those hurtful memories, and that's just really gonna you know, make you, they're just going to hurt you more. So, like what I just, this is a very interesting. We got to have selective memory, right? Is that, yeah, I think that's what I want to. Selective meaning just choose to focus on the good memories. I mean, the bad memories are happen maybe to teach you a lesson and for you to become a better person, but we should not try to dwell on the bad and hurtful past, I guess. Move on, right?
Okay.
Easy to say, but
And
we
moving
can
on,
do that.
I feel bad because I'm ignoring everyone that is so awesome to join us live and spend their time with us. So we're going to start addressing your comments and questions in no particular order. I'll start with these more
Exactly.
recent ones
Okay.
and work our way back, going in reverse order. Martin R. Cruz, I would rather ride a bike whenever I move to Amsterdam, Netherlands, maybe in a few years or so. Where are you moving from, Martin? What
Oh
country?
yeah.
What
That's
country
true.
are you going to move
I
from that
can't
you're moving to
remember.
the
I
Netherlands?
think yeah. Martin, you also joins us.
I almost got into a fight with a guy from the Netherlands once. In China. That's another interesting story.
Tell the story
And
with us. They might think that you're
they
the
have a
bad
lot of
person.
tough guys from the Netherlands. Some of those Dutch kickboxers. I guess that's Holland, maybe somewhere in that area. But I don't think he was one of those guys. But that's another
an
story.
interesting story
So
to
he's
tell.
moving to the Netherlands, but you got to leave a comment. Let us know what country. And
When you say a bike, is this a bicycle or the motorcycle? Well, just to clarify.
And Travis, my girlfriend's family are South Cotabato. Do you think it's safe for Westerners? Well, I'll let you answer that first before I chime in.
Okay, I'm not
That
really
area.
sure if my cousin lives somewhere in South Cotabato. Last time we talked, he said something like there are some parts of South Cotabato that are okay, safe to visit. But I'm not really sure. I don't want to say something that would put you,
I would say this.
put you at risk. But
I would say this, depending on your attitude and your behavior, there's a lot you can do to make yourself a lot safer, and there's a lot that
that's true.
you can do to put yourself more at risk.
Yeah, and I think it'll be good if you talk to your girlfriend and your girlfriend can tell you more.
Out for a bit if you didn't get
Oh,
that.
wow.
Andrew W. from San Francisco. Hello, thanks for joining from San Francisco. Joaquin Silva, I will be in Manila in March. I wish I was home. Can't see the video because he's on a cell phone that HTC that doesn't support
but
it.
as long as you hear us, hi to you. What's his name again? Did you already say?
I'm
his
losing
name?
it. They're coming in so fast.
know,
We
it's
have
so-
so many people joining us,
Exactly.
which is so nice, though.
I know. Let me try to look at these messages here. I guess it's so fast.
We have Cody Schmidt from North Dakota.
Oh
Well,
wow!
I grew up in North Dakota, and he has a girlfriend from the Philippines. Thank you guys so much for all the information on the Philippines
You're welcome.
and much more. Well, thank you for tuning in and being a part of this. Brian is moving to Australia, and let me scroll up and get some of these ones because we've missed so much. And San Francisco tuning in on the West Coast, Cali, and someone from the rap metal hero from Sweden. Hopefully things are going well for you in Sweden. Definitely Sweden's been in the news a lot. I just read a story the other day about one of the heads of police over there. There was a murder from one of the migrants murdered a local gal, and there was a controversy because the guy in charge of the police in Sweden says he feels bad for the murderer. So that obviously something like that is going to cause controversy.
I know. That's
So
crazy.
here's a good question from Scott F. If you get a Filipina pregnant but you don't want to marry her, will the government make the guy pay child support? And the answer to that is no. They have nothing like that here. Now, that being said, I don't know if you're in a situation where you did that, but hopefully that you don't do that. Joaquin Silva from Los Angeles. Sansku says, I'm so sad. Well, hopefully we can brighten up your day there. And Miami, Florida, checking in. And who's my favorite Filipino actor or actress? I don't know.
Lance Raimundo.
Yeah, yeah.
Get well soon, Lance.
What's the temperature like over here? It's hot and sunny right now. We have Aaron Taylor greeting us from Davao. We
Hey,
have
how are you
Mark
guys?
Waite, I think is how you say his last name, from the UK.
See, we have
And we got John and Mary Short from Hawaii.
Scott F is in Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver.
Cool.
I'm trying not to miss anyone. Ohio.
British
Monkey,
Columbia.
Zero Monkey, Zero Number Zero from Ohio. I've been to Ohio many times. And
Ireland.
Martin has a good comment here, Martin R. Cruz. What is the reason why you decided to major in film? Well, that's a good question. The answer to that is basically, I started out and I was going to major in theater acting, and I realized very quickly I don't like plays. I like movies.
I like them. movies.
So then I transferred over to the film department, and it was much more my style. It's more my thing. And the reason is, one of the things I don't like about theater is I don't like that they're just up there on a stage and you can see everything. I like the art form of film, of how the camera kind of acts as an eye and shows you what you don't, it chooses what the audience can't see and what they do see, and you can move the camera in interesting ways, and there's just so much interesting things that you can do with that medium of film, that art form. So that's my thing. And most people in this modern era, of course, they're going to prefer movies. There's a reason why, movies are so much more popular. We'll get your thoughts on the Oscars and being so white later, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Hopefully we don't cause any controversy or hurt anyone's feelings one way or
Well,
another.
we're just sharing our thoughts
I'm
here.
going to get your thoughts on
There's no wrong or right answer or statement here, and you guys are free to share your thoughts as well. That's why we're here. And yeah, and it's so
We
cool
got
that,
Robert from Troy, New York,
right.
Stephane from Cornwall, Ontario,
Cool.
13 hours different from here. And I think that we're getting it all. Let me scroll down. I don't mean to miss anyone out. We do appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in, spending time. For us, this is a great way to spend a Sunday. And will we ever go to Davao to film our videos? I don't know. I think
that will be very exciting.
I
I personally like Davao, so.
Well, I think it's probably more likely at this point that we're going to go to Mongolia. I've been meaning to go to Mongolia for a long time, for years actually. Probably for more
and I've
for
always
like 15
been wondering
years.
what's in Mongolia that you would want to go to visit and see.
Well, I heard they have some good-looking women there.
Oh yeah,
That's what I heard.
more better looking than me.
Let me see.
And he didn't answer.
Well, you know the answer. We got, let's see. Gary's
Bowie.
here. Jay.
Jay
Very
Ruiz,
cool.
hi. Savior Sam, hello to you. Mark Ritz, Sage Northcott.
Well, we're not going to answer that. Like, we're not going to talk about the UFC on this broadcast. So, but I will say this. I hate the UFC that they made a new contract. I guess their old one expired with ABS-CBN because it was so easy to see the fights. Now they have a contract with TV5 and another cable company, and now it's like hard to see them, at least live. You have to have this other cable company that most people don't have, and it's just I think it's going to hurt the UFC ultimately, even if they got more money for this new deal, because people can't follow it the same way. It's on a channel that people don't really watch, when before it was really great. So that's been very frustrating the past month about that new contract.
I know.
So
it was easier to watch it live.
So, but we have watched some interesting things lately. We watched, going back to the happiness thing, we watched this movie from the 1990s, I believe. It was made for HBO. It's called The Late Shift, and it retells the story of Jay Leno and David Letterman vying for The Tonight Show. And I was thinking it's very interesting because there was a line that the character of David Letterman said. I don't know if the real David Letterman ever said this, but there was a part in the movie where he said, "I'm only happy the 1 hour a day when I'm doing my show."
Yeah.
And I thought, how sad and pathetic is that this rich, famous guy that has the life that so many people would kill to have, he's still unhappy for 23 hours of his day. And that it's the only thing that finds joy. And then he's, when that could be taken away, it's like his whole life could be taken away from him in a sense. And I mean, I thought that's interesting. I hope that other people aren't living that way. And then these guys too, Jay and Dave, they're both rich, famous, millionaire guys, but they both want The Tonight Show. They both either one could go to CBS and make millions of dollars and have their own show there, but they both want the show called The Tonight Show. They want that name brand. And I understand that, but I mean, it's kind of funny because so many people would kill to be in these situations. But to me, it wasn't a great film. I don't know how accurate it is to the real situation, But to me, it was just interesting how David Letterman's, well, it's also interesting too in that they're kind of in the same business as me, but they're on a much higher level, and they're both going through so much stress and anxiety trying to get that Tonight Show.
That's true.
And I go through the same things too, obviously on a much smaller level. But it's like, my God, these people are experiencing the same stress and anxiety that I experience, and they're way up there.
It's like if you look at them, they already have everything.
Yeah, so I guess it shows you do have to enjoy the ride and enjoy whatever you're doing, because it seems like even having that much more success, that much more fame, money, and power, it ultimately didn't make them happy. And I believe that those things are good things, money and power. Those are some of the best things in life. But as I was watching this show on History Channel last night called The Innovators, it's mainly about Rockefeller, Carnegie, and J.P. Morgan. These guys had the money, they had the power, they were the men in their day. But you know what? They're dead and buried now. Not going to do them a bit of good. So you got to make the most out of things while you're here.
Yeah. SV says, hi, I'm from Manila. So it's also great to know that we also have some people joining us in the Philippines, of course.
If you have a baby, what's the name of the baby? Well, if it's a boy, Dolph.
We were just talking about that the other night.
We have New Zealand checking in, and we have someone.
Floyd Pink.
We have someone that says, if you ever come to Bangkok, I'll pick you up from the airport. Well, we might take you up on that.
We'll take your word. Yeah, we'll remember that. That's a Chakioyan. Oh, I'm sorry. Please help me. Please, I just want to make sure I pronounce your name right.
So, well, you made the offer. Don't back out now, because you never know. I haven't been to Thailand since, I've been there twice.
2007.
Yeah, I haven't been there since 2007, but I've heard it's progressed a lot since then, and I heard that things have really improved a lot in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
So we might have to check out for ourselves. Thank you very much for the offer. And here's a controversial question. What do you think about ladyboy relationship with someone lovely? Are you asking for yourself? Are you in a relationship with a ladyboy? I don't want to be controversial, but I mean, to me, it's kind of like, I suppose if that's what you want to do, I mean, I'm not going to judge you or have a problem with you or anything like that. It's very common here, that's for sure, in this part of the world. Very, very common. And you wouldn't be the first person to do something like that. There's a lot of guys, actually, that come over to meet ladyboys. So, sure, why not?
That reminds me of that.
He might be dating Caitlyn Jenner. Is that?
Oh.
No, just kidding.
Christopher Hill, it's Chris from Texas. My fiance is in Davao City. Oh, is this the one you just read earlier? Or this is different? Wondering we're flying there in June. Okay, that's cool, interesting.
Why Mongolia? You into traditional culture, wrestling, archery? Well, I just think that it's just a fascinating place to visit. Both the city life and as well as the more rural life. They have a lot of fascinating things going on. Emma Francisco, hi guys, I love watching all your videos.
Thank you,
Emma.
Emma.
Thank you very much. She's from Taipei.
Well, and I like what she said.
Are you going to pick us up if we go to Taipei?
And she said, thank you for continually giving information about the Philippines. Thank you, Emma. It's so nice to hear that from you. Keith Andres from Alberta.
Someone, I think I've scrolled past it. Someone asked how we met. I'll answer. We've answered that before, so I'll answer it real quick. We met at the embassy, and no, I don't mean the U.S. embassy. There used to be a popular nightclub in, what area is that in?
At the fort. It's now like the BGC, Bonifacio Global City. It's part of that. Yeah, in Taguig City. So
we met at the embassy, the popular club called Embassy, and
I was there with friends.
So that's where we met.
To party and stuff.
We met at the fort.
Yeah, we saw each other. He saw me first. Anyways, okay, let's see.
Could you suggest some online employment I could do from the Philippines?
Are you in the Philippines right now? Cody Schmidt? Yeah. Well, I mean, there are a lot of online job
I'll let you
opportunities.
answer that. I'll just refresh my
Okay, sure.
beverage.
Now it makes me want to have some coffee, but I'm not gonna leave you guys while Travis is getting his soda. Well, Cody, there are a lot of online job opportunities out there, but one thing is for sure, I'm not. Okay, let me rephrase it. I'm not sure how much is your target rate per hour or your target salary is, but I think once you send your application and you'll be interviewed, like for the initial screening, you can ask that question, so you don't have to go through a lot of interviews and only find out that that's not your target salary rate. But there are a lot of opportunities if you're in the Philippines, and if you're outside the Philippines, yeah, I think there are also a lot of opportunities online.
Yeah, Imabelle is actually, I let her handle that too because she's a much better person to answer that question than I am. You know much more about that stuff than me. But I don't know what country you're watching from, but if it's online employment, it probably doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, you can do it.
Yeah.
So, but I would say it might be hard. And I don't know what your nationality is or what country you're from and that kind of thing. But keep in mind, I think you said this too, the rates, the hourly rate, might not be as great as maybe what you want.
Yeah, but I think what's great about doing an online job is one, you are in the comfort of your home, but of course you really have to spend time to do that because you can't just relax just because you're at home. You gotta be competent. You gotta do an excellent job. Plus, there are also sales position where you get more. It can be more lucrative because of the commission. It's commission based. So
Yeah, you know
it's
some people that do that,
yeah,
and
it
yeah, that can
really
be more, I think, than working for
yeah,
an hourly
it
rate.
really depends on
But you got
the
to be a good salesman.
yeah on the field that you want to focus on. It can be more like an administrative, type of job. It can be like a customer service related job. You take calls or
The
like stuff like that.
the problem with I think some of those jobs are, especially if you're say an American, like I said, they pay less, so an American might not want to work, even if they don't have to leave the house. They might not want to work for $3 to $5
An hour.
an hour,
Mm.
and you got to keep in mind you're competing with people from the Philippines and India, and those people will work for that much. So definitely, if you're an American, they might say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. Geez, I could work at McDonald's." Like my dad said, in McDonald's, if you
In
apply
North
it in
Dakota.
North Dakota, if you apply there and they hire you, they give you a $500 signing bonus, and it pays
Cool.
like $14 or $15 an hour just to work at McDonald's. So I mean, you might decide that it's a personal decision. Though.
Yeah, it depends on your goals as well. And well, I have to face reality. One, the reason why people in companies employ Filipinos is one, it's cheaper in terms of the fee, the labor.
Exactly.
Number two, of course, we're just very great. Modesty aside, I'm so blessed that Filipinos, being a Filipino, we're blessed to do these kinds of jobs. And so that's one thing to consider. Of course, in the
The
Philippines,
problem is they have bad internet in this country for the people that work those
that's
jobs.
why you have to working online. It's always good if you have a backup internet connection. So if your main internet connection fails, then you have a backup. Plus, in the provinces, brownouts
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are
definitely.
common.
If you're in,
So
it's a good thing that you brought that
yeah,
up.
so if you are in an area that experiences blackouts, brownouts, power interruption every now and then, or maybe like a weekly schedule like that, it's good if
By
you have
weekly
it
schedule, you
like
mean
every
places.
weekend. Yeah.
By weekly schedule, you is what you mean is there'll be areas and provinces where they'll say, okay, every Saturday we're not going to have electricity in this town.
Or like every other Saturday, something like that, because it's part of their maintenance.
I can't imagine
So
people in America ever putting up with that.
so
That's crazy.
it's good if you also have a generator, so you have a backup fun.
But that costs you money to run the generator.
That's true, and I'm not sure
It
if
can be
that will,
expensive too,
if
from
that
what I
can,
hear.
yeah, if it will be worth it to have that, considering the rate. Yeah, so
That was a rather good answer, I feel, that we gave to that.
yeah, I mean, online jobs now are really getting a big thing, and
In the Philippines, of course. But
yeah, well,
like I said, a lot of Americans probably don't. They might not want to work for that small
yeah, I
because
know.
it's far below minimum wage.
Yeah, but I get to work with non-Filipinos, Americans, Canadians, Russians online, but I'm sure they get really good rates. So you just yeah.
Moving on, Keith Andrus says Uber. Are you saying I'm Uber, or are you talking about the car service? As far as car services go,
Uber.
as far as services go, had a lot of requests to do something about that, and I'll actually have a video where I take a Grab. If you're not from the Philippines,
Grab a car, grab a taxi.
it's just called Grab now. Actually,
Okay.
there's another one. It's like Uber. It's called Grab. Basically the same thing, just different company. Where we take a Grab and we show you the experience of what that's like. So
Yeah.
that'll be coming out soon. But I've had
True.
so many requests for that. So John says, John and Amy from Australia.
Hi there in
Hi,
Australia.
guys. What's your favorite film from Brian Malloy? Uh,
Is it a hard question?
yeah, because I suppose I like my favorite. I like the whole Rocky series. That would probably be my favorite. I also like the Rambo series, all those films. And for a film that's not those, I'd have to say the movie the action comedy film Showdown in Little Tokyo, that the buddy cop movie. That's Showdown in Little Tokyo is definitely up there as one of my favorites.
Now you know.
Someone says Emma. I think they mean Ema. Are you an OFW?
Oh no, Scott F. To answer your question, I'm not an OFW. I never work as an OFW. And speaking of OFW, it's so nice to hear from. We have a lot of viewers who are OFWs who are working outside the Philippines, and it's a joy for us to know that you are entertained and you're enjoying the videos.
Jace has a question for you, but we've answered this in several videos, including fairly recently over the holidays. Jace says, "Where are you from, Imabelle?
What do you mean? Oh, where?
What town? What
Oh,
province?"
I'm from Samar. That's part of Visayas.
Calbayog City.
Calbayog City.
Yes. We showed that in a lot of videos when my parents were here. We went there. And recently, over the holidays, we were there. We've been there a lot in a lot of our videos. So go through my back videos.
Yeah, the alpha guitarist.
Guitarist. The alpha guitarist. He's an
alpha guitarist. There's the shout out for you.
Sean from Orlando, Florida. I'm sure they have lovely weather there. It must be like 12:30 in the middle of the night there.
There's a funny. It's a funny question to me because Mark Waite said, "Was the most Red Horse beers you've drunk in one night?" LOL. Mark Waite.
Never.
100. Never is the answer.
I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
Oh, Chi Yen says she's a Patreon supporter. Yeah, hit us up actually. If you're a Patreon supporter, then we will take you up on that ride.
YouTube ID is not. Yeah.
I think I know who you are actually.
And
now that you said that,
exactly.
I think I know who you are.
Yeah, since you said that, part of the live stream is supposed to be for us to thank all our wonderful patrons. And yeah, thank you so much to Chakao. Oh my god, I'm not gonna pronounce it anymore, but I know you're one of the people.
Send us a private message on Patreon. And now we're more serious. Yeah, if you picked us up at the airport in Bangkok.
Yeah, maybe
it could be cool.
Because we're considering a few places to visit, and if that's the case, maybe that would be an edge. that would make considering Thailand more. It will be. I think it would be more possible.
Alpha guitarist. I'm kind of way back. He asked where I met you. I answered that,
that's already answered earlier.
The nightclub embassy in the fort. My man is in Cavite. Why he don't cam much with me?
Camera.
I guess talk to him on camera. I don't know. You got to ask your man that. I
Is it the
suppose.
internet
I don't know.
connection? Christopher Hale. What's his question?
I'm not sure y'all are seeing my question. I'm not sure we saw your question. Maybe we answered it because we're
Delante
far
Vlog
back.
Show. Magandang gabi po. Travis and Imabelle. Magandang gabi rin sa'yo. There. And let's see. We're
Maryland.
trying to...
He's from Maryland.
Cool.
Who do you think is the strongest candidate for president? Well, we don't talk about politics here. We don't want to alienate anyone. And I also don't want to act like a lot of those Hollywood celebrities that try and tell you who you should vote for. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you who you should vote for. But I think one thing that's interesting is with Donald Trump, whether you like the guy or not, that's a personal decision.
I'm entertained by him.
That's a personal decision. I'm not going to say whether you should like him or not, but I think what's fascinating was him pulling out of the debate on Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And then Fox kind of, because they mocked him in a very unprofessional manner. I wouldn't expect a major network. It makes their network look like such a joke. But then they come back and practically beg him to appear on their channel for the debates. But it amazed me the way one guy is breaking away and showing how, kind of taking something away from the mainstream media and showing he kind of doesn't need them. Because the mainstream media has always been the gatekeeper. You've always had to try, even me as an entertainer, like in that movie we mentioned, The Late Shift, they had this gatekeeper, which was Jay Leno's manager, who was a very nasty woman, and then she became executive producer of The Tonight Show, and she was strong-arming everyone and telling everyone, oh, you won't have, you can't appear on this show, and she was doing all these dirty tactics. Eventually they had to fire her because she was so terrible, but she was a gatekeeper. And now with the internet, it's more of a democracy, I think. Although there's issues with that too, because
it's an abused democracy. I would
because
say
Google
for some.
now Google kind of holds Google's like the new gatekeeper, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like we're in some ways things have gotten better, but in a way we're also trading one gatekeeper for another because Google is almost getting a monopoly over the entire internet.
Yeah.
Not just over internet video, but they're almost getting a monopoly over the entire. And you have things like companies like Google, who has an extreme agenda. Facebook is doing things. They're censoring posts on Facebook in Germany. They're working with the German government to make sure certain posts that are dissenting from the government's viewpoint don't show up on Facebook and aren't showing up on the internet. So they're getting this tight censorship on the internet in Germany because they can't have people going against the government. And I'm hearing these stories about how in Germany, if people do go against the government, well, then there's a price to pay. They will make you suffer. They will take revenge on you if a German citizen has a different view of things than the government.
Yeah.
It's almost like history is repeating itself, perhaps, but there's people that live in Germany that maybe know the situation better than us. But then again, in a way, maybe they don't because they have the government in Germany has this stranglehold over the media there, even over the internet, where they're trying to get public opinion and brainwash people into thinking one thing, and anyone that comes out and says something differently, they must be silenced, whether they're a university professor or a teenage girl. If you don't go in line with their program over there, there's going to be hell to pay.
Wow. Sean Brando said, I have learned so much from the both of you. I am planning to move to the Philippines later this year myself. Perfect. We're going to, he should watch
I have a book, actually. It's actually done, and I read it to you the first night. You haven't read it, but I read the book to you. Yes. I have a book it's like a guide on moving to the Philippines. And before I moved to Los Angeles, actually, I bought a book for about $25, and that was so helpful for me. Now, it didn't make my life easy for me moving to Los Angeles. It was still very difficult. but it kind of helped get me on my feet, helped give me a running start. It's not going to be easy doing something like that, but the point is, it keeps you from making certain mistakes, which could cost you time, money, heartache. And I get so many questions. It's funny because I get so many questions about moving to the Philippines.
Yeah.
But some of these guys, it's like they just want a 1 or 2 sentence response, an easy answer, and it doesn't actually work that way. There's too much information, and honestly, you can't be lazy about it. So I have that book coming out, and what did you think after I read it to you?
Well, I think it's very informative. It's very informative and inspiring as well. And it's very direct to the point, simple, easy to read. And yeah, I think whoever plans or is contemplating or moving to the Philippines, that book will be very helpful. And that was the first time I actually read it, heard it from you because you read it to me. And yeah, and this is something that I've been telling Travis. There's really a difference between, theoretical knowledge versus hands-on
Exactly.
knowledge.
You've been talking about that for a long
I
time.
know. I mean, like, cause one thing, I think one great thing about Travis's book is that he wrote it and it's based on his experience.
And by the way, I didn't have a book or anything. I had no information. I just did it
I
on my
know.
own, basically, trial and error.
I know. So I think, as the cliche goes, experience is the best teacher. So it's not only like, okay, so the Philippines is like this, like that, but he incorporated much from his experience that would really be very helpful to the readers of the book.
It's funny, the reason that you bring up, actually, I'll just explain theoretical knowledge is because I get all these comments on the channel and they say, oh, you can do this, you can do that in the Philippines. But these comments are from people here that have never lived here. Maybe they took a short vacation. Maybe they've never even been here, many of them. I know many of them have never even been here, and they're telling people in the comments, you can do this, you can do that there. And it's like, come on, I feel bad because they're kind of misguiding people sometimes. And it's like they're telling me, they want to correct me, someone that actually lives here and walks the walk, that I'm wrong and they know more than me. And sometimes, a lot of the times, they haven't even been here. And if they've been here, it's usually just for a vacation. It's not, and a vacation's very, very different than actually
From
living
living,
here.
yeah. I want to correct myself. It's like theoretical knowledge versus first-hand knowledge. Is that correct?
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, that's true. And Vic W.
In Maryland.
Oh wow, hi! Thank you for joining us as well. And let's see. Okay, these are really a lot.
You are the best from Sand School. Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, and Christopher Martinez, hello to you. Let me see.
Teaching,
Oh, that's
teaching English
correct.
online is possible.
Shakiuyen. That's, I would agree with that. Exactly. Online English teaching, that's also possible. That's also very big. But like what I said, check it out if that's aligned to your goals. Not only for your career goals, but also your financial goals, your income goals. Vic W, the peso is almost $40. Discuss. LOL.
48 per dollar.
48 per
Discuss.
dollar.
There's not much to discuss. That's the
Well, Vic,
exchange
are you
rate.
happy about that? That's a good thing, right?
It's better than 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it was down to 38, which is the lowest I've ever seen it. In 2007, it was like 59.60 to 1, which, I mean, it was so much better. Hopefully, at least goes back up to 50. I talked about that in a video. Because at least it's easier when buying things if you're converting in your mind. It's simple math to do. So hopefully it goes up to at least 50. But I remember the days when it was 60 to 1, and that was 2007.
Those are the days.
Those were the days. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's always going to change in life. Money, things are only going one direction generally, and that's
Yeah.
up. So
But just
that's
a
life.
tip, although some of you know this already, when you exchange your dollars, go to a money changer that has a higher exchange rate compared to the banks or the other exchange places. This is a sweet comment. I want to read this from Emma Francisco. A lot of things to be done today, but I can't put down my phone. I don't want to miss this great event. I really love watching you guys. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
That's so heartwarming. Thank you so much. And I hope you'll still be able to do what you have to do today. And let's see. The Alpha Guitarist, stay well here at the Philippines. I watch your channel. The Alpha Guitarist saw that TV feature. It's a documentary featuring Travis for the entire show. And you're right, the Alpha Guitarist said you slept and lived with some people in the sea. It was actually a river, right? It's in and sleeping with cockroaches and rats. Keep up the good work, man. What do you say to Alpha Guitarist?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Someone says, Sean Brandow says, was thinking of opening a Sorry Sorry store. And also, English. I don't know what to tell you about the Sorry Sorry store.
They're everywhere. There are a lot of Sari Sari stores in the Philippines. But it depends on
a lot
where
of
you have-
competition.
Yeah, wherever you live.
And I'm not
Maybe
sure
you
the
can-
profit margin is.
Yeah, maybe you can check your area and the competition plus the profit margin if you'll do that. You can study. In every business, you really gotta study before you really invest, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd say they're everywhere, so competition is high, and the profit margins might not be that big. You look at the people running Sorry Sorry stores. How are they living? It looks like generally not too well, would be my guess for most
It
of them.
really depends.
From the average one.
Yeah.
So
it can be a big Sari Sari store, like a mini grocery store.
I mean, it's kind of. I don't know a lot about it, but I think that those are things to think about from a business standpoint.
Or maybe it can be a support
De-
additional income. I don't know.
Delante Vlog Show says, do you think I can be a famous foreigner if I make videos about Filipino history and culture, Poe? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I think this is why I always tell people, and this is one message I want to get across. I think you can really do anything that you want to do, but usually you have to make sacrifices, especially if it's a very big goal. And anything worth doing doesn't come easy to you. If you have a goal to do something and it's something you can do very easy, maybe you need a better goal because it's probably not worth doing if it just comes that easy. Just like how people have some questions for me, like about moving to the Philippines, and they want one or two sentences, a quick, exact answer of how to do something. It's like, well, if you're that lazy and you want a one or two sentence and it comes that easy, it's probably not worth doing what you want to do. But yeah, I think you can. I think you can do whatever you want to do, and you have to ask yourself, what do you want to do? Because keep in mind, sometimes, and it's okay to ask someone like me for an outside opinion. Sometimes keep in mind, because a lot of people ask me questions about what they want to do, and I would say, well, yeah, you could do that, but I don't think it's worth doing. I think that you could do something better with your time, money, energy, whatever.
Yeah.
So, because so many people write me with these goals or whatever, and I'm like, man, I don't know you very well, but I'm sure you could do a lot better than setting such a low standard for yourself. And I'll have some videos coming out about that as well. So I would say yes, if you want. I'd say, yeah, it's possible. I don't see why not.
Yeah. Let's check out other comments and let's see. I guess we've read the others. Okay. It's so cool that you guys get to talk to each other in the room, so feel free to share your thoughts with each other as well. And we would love to read all of your comments, but if we don't get to read all of them, hope you understand,
I
guys.
think I'm getting to the bottom.
Okay.
I'm trying. Martin says who's marrying to.
I plan on.
He plans on marrying a tall Dutch woman that is between 6 and 6'5.5", something like that for me, because I'm very interested in hot, tall women. Well, at least he's getting specific.
Yeah,
He knows
that's
the
great.
man knows what he wants,
Mm-hmm.
especially the ones that know how to fight in MMA. Well, here's what you do, Martin. After you move there, you start going to the MMA gyms, and I'm sure they have a lot of women training in there. So that's how you get in, and you know what you want. So good for you, I say. That he knows what he wants, and he has a fairly good plan about
True.
getting it. And it seems, unlike most people, he's actually taking actions. He's going to be moving to that country, which is, I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Just like my book about moving to the Philippines, the reality is if you want to do it, you're going to do it. And my book can help you, but...
Decide whether... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it can help you. Yeah, it can also help you decide whether you really want to
move or not.
Because it's not for everyone, definitely. And some
Yeah.
people are kind of on the fence, and there's a lot of things they haven't considered. And it's not that I want to discourage them, but I want to be very real and practical to give people the best information so they can actually make, the best, be prepared and make the best go of things.
That's
But
true.
you're actually doing it, man. So good for you. I respect that. You're doing what you want to do in life, and anyone that does that, I really respect. Now, you can't always do what you want in life. We all have to suffer. We all have to do things we don't want to do. We all have to work jobs sometimes that we don't want to have to work, at least for the time being. But it's not where you start out. It's where you end up. So you gotta see the big picture of things. And
Yeah.
suffering is part of life. To get what you want, a lot of the times you have to make sacrifices. You got to do things you don't want to do. And that's just part of life.
Favorite metal hero said Travis and Imabelle. Who are some of your favorite hip-hop rap artists?
I like MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice.
Those are like, it shows you like
Just
what era you are.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that genre, I suppose. So,
Yeah, but thank you for asking. Stephanie Duparantayo, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It happened that I went without talking to my fiancé for 12 or more hours because of brownout. That really happens.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
experience. That's
Yeah.
not an uncommon experience here, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. And Stephen Stewart. Have you read this yet?
No, go ahead.
Hi, Travis and Imabelle. Love the channel and keep up the good work. Have you any good projects coming up? Thank you, Stephen, for that. And you will know because, we feature them in the vlog and we share whatever we're doing with you guys. And we're looking forward to better, greater projects.
Someone says, have you been to Palawan and what happened? No, neither one of us has. Your brother was just there recently.
Well, my brother went there like a year or 2 years ago. And
Your mom also went there
they loved
before.
it. Yeah, my mom went there. They all
So-
loved it. I'm not sure what you're referring to though.
You could ask me about Boracay. I've been there to Boracay. I don't think it's necessarily a great place to visit, at least depending on what you're looking for. Boracay, people I think is overrated. But then again, if you're into going to bars, partying, maybe you're young, 20s, single, if you're that type of person, then it probably is for you.
Yeah, Gary Bowley said, my wife said when you reach about 27 years old in the Philippines, it's hard to get a job. You're too old. Well, I heard the same thing. So,
They kind of have age limits.
yeah, they have this age preference thing. That's why online shop is, I think it would work also. It's an option.
You got to make yourself so valuable that
Indispensable.
they don't care. They don't care. But yeah,
Oh,
generally they don't want to hire older people here. And your friend in Singapore was talking about that, how in Singapore they hire older people, even people in their 60s and stuff. They don't have that like in the Philippines where they have that age discrimination thing where if you're above 27 or whatever it is, it's like, oh, we can't give you any kind of job. You're too old. You're an old person. We don't want you.
Brian Malloy, have a good night's sleep. He said, I'm going to sleep, guys. 5:30 a.m. here in Ireland. Love the channel. Thank you, Brian. Sweet dreams. Toby Harwood, hello. Thank you for joining us. Scott F. Question.
Would you still like me if I were fat and bald?
Of course, I would still love him.
I could stand to lose a few pounds. Right? Yeah. Is this a message that I need to get back on the diet? That I'm letting myself go with I need to get ripped up again? Do I need to do that diet where I eat nothing but eggs every day
that's
for
what
every
you-
meal?
Yeah, that's one of the trivias about you on one of the videos, actually. All eggs in 2 weeks. Precious De Leon, I just wanted to say I enjoyed the videos of your parents' vacation, Travis. They are adorable, just like you and Imabelle. Thank you so much, Precious.
Those are some of my audience's favorite videos that I've done, and they're definitely some of my favorites, of course. Those are the most personal videos I would say I've ever
Yes.
done.
That's true. And Emma, thank you for the offer that you're gonna pick us up if you visit Taipei.
But there's a guy, a YouTuber out there. He's in Taiwan part of the time. Part of the time he's in the U.S. that I wouldn't mind that we've talked about collaborating with if we can match up in the same country and city.
Yeah, I
Frank.
know. Yeah.
If you know Frank out there,
Shiva Sarpoteza. I think you guys are awesome. Any suggestions for a rookie vlogger equipment wise? Travis.
I just did a video about this at the end of December, so check out my videos from late December, and you'll see, like I talked about 2 vlogging cameras that I've been using. One is this camera right here, the Canon Vixia Mini, and a more expensive camera that's more for photography. But I'll answer if I had to choose between those. I guess I'll just answer this real quick. Check out that video definitely, but I guess probably a good option is this one. There's some disadvantages to using it, but the big advantage is, one of the main advantages is this was designed for vlogging, and the other big thing is you can go places, record all the time, and no one even knows what you're doing because it doesn't look like a video camera to people. So the
It's very handy. So I think as a beginning, as a first time vlogger, that would be great.
The Canon Vixia Mini does have some disadvantages, but there's no such thing as a perfect camera. But this is a pretty good option for vlogging. It sells. I don't know if they're for sale anymore in the United States. You can check Amazon. They're for sale in stores in the Philippines, and they cost around $300.
Yeah. So yeah, you can try that out.
What's next? I know you're reading. Someone just sent us a message on Patreon that came in on the cell phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to
check
pull
out.
it
Sorry
up.
about
Pull
that.
it up. John Wilson, we are looking to rent an apartment in Rockwell, BGC, Makati. Any suggestions on a nice building there?
I'll let you handle that. I'll get more.
Okay, and he's leaving me again. Well, John, I think you can. I'm sure you already checked options online, but let me see. I'm trying to think. I actually know someone who's renting his place in Makati. That's near Greenbelt in Gorieta area. So if you want, you can send us an email. How do I send it to you? The contact, I guess. So you can check that out.
Maybe they can hit you up on Facebook.
Yeah, you can. You can send an email to me on Facebook, so I can send you the contact, and you can check out that place. Yeah, that's in Makati. I just can't remember any specific place in Rockwell in Makati now. In Rockwell, those buildings there are really good. I think.
They have a lot of places to rent out there. Actually, if you check
Yeah.
the internet, and then after that, of course, you have to go see them in person to see if they're what you're looking for. Sometimes they'll have
Yeah.
pictures of a place, and then you go and you look at
It
it.
doesn't look.
Things are a little
like that,
different.
I think you can also negotiate once you talk.
We
to
have
the
a little
contact
section in the
person.
book about this, about getting the best deal on the place that you want.
Yeah, you just use your, negotiation skills.
Toby says, "Hey Travis." Well, hey Toby. Fleek de Chic. This is maybe one more for you to take too.
Did you guys already talk about the Miss Universe, Steve Harvey debacle reactions? Okay.
I did not talk about it.
We didn't really talk about it on the channel. But if you're asking us,
I didn't really talk about it in my personal life either.
I know, he didn't really care about that.
I don't think I talked about it.
Well, me, I would say I host events, and I also hosted pageants here in the Philippines. I think what Steve Harvey did was, I admire him for doing that. He really did it. Went back to the stage and corrected himself. So I think, yeah.
I don't know what to do. It was a bummer for Miss Columbia, I guess. But she's gained a lot of attention out of it too, so it's still better than her just taking second place, because now she still gets more attention for that. And someone says, if you were in Germany, would you accept the refugees? Do you mean if I was like Angela Merkel, the leader of Germany? Well, that's kind of a
political question.
It's a political question which I don't usually answer, but it's a complex question, yet it's also a fairly simple question. I think the answer is yes, you take them if they're refugees and have actual evidence. the issue is, it seems that most of them are working class males migrating for better economic opportunities. And it seems many of them aren't even, supposedly a lot of them aren't even from Syria, so they're not
taking
actual.
advantage of that.
So I say you take the actual refugees, but they have to prove it. They have to have ID that says who they are and things like that. You can't just let people come into your country for the sake of safety, that you don't know who they are, because who knows if they're letting in terrorists, and now they have all these problems supposedly from it. But the leader of Germany, Angela Merkel, I mean, she has her agenda. It's funny because we had Hitler in the previous century, and he was one thing, and then it's like, okay, we need to go away from this, and then they went to the extreme opposite end, and that's not good either. To go, they couldn't be more the opposite of Hitler. But as we're finding out, maybe that's not such a good thing to be such an extreme opposite. And the reality is maybe she's not such an opposite, because as we talked about with these tactics before, where they're clamping down and shutting up anyone that doesn't go with the government's agenda, well, isn't that kind of the same thing that they had before? So, it's definitely a rough situation, and maybe people in Germany, I know people in Germany, some of them hate it, some of them say, yes, we love it, but is that because they're told to think a certain way? We don't really know. I'm sure the people within Germany, they see things with their eyes, but also they get different information from the government. Like, you've had a lot of reports of police being ordered not to report crimes done by them because they don't want to make it look bad. But over there in all of Europe, it seems it's quite a tough situation for everyone, unfortunately.
That's true.
So to answer my question, yes, if they're legitimate refugees in need of help, definitely. But would I accept 1 million people and let them come in unchecked? Absolutely not.
For safety, I guess. Well, let me just say hi to our patrons who are joining us today as well. I saw a comment on our post on Patreon. Yes, from George. Thank you, George. And Frank Williams has a question. We'll take care of that after the live stream. And by the way, our patrons are a family that we're so blessed with. Thank you so much, our Patreon family. And it's because of you that we're able to keep making videos that entertain, inform, inspire the viewers. Because, without you, it could have been easy for us to just stop doing this. And you can check out the website. It's the link is actually patreon.com/craft. There
we
you
need
go.
to put a link in the. We'll put a link later in the description.
And our Patreon family, to all of you, have a great weekend and thank you for joining us. And of course, we have another question. It's a comment from Christopher Martinez. Imabelle, you look beautiful. I mean that respectfully. Thank you so much, Christopher. And thank you. Let me see. What else do we have to check?
How often do I work out? Well, I used to, especially when I was heavily into modeling, I used to work out. Well, I would strength train about 3 or 4 days a week before, and try and walk or run on the other days or in the mornings. Right now, I work out about once every 3 days. I go to the gym. And what's my favorite Filipino food? I would have to say, well, adobo, of course. But what have I been eating lately that I like? The stew. Okay, it escapes my name.
Which caldereta?
Caldereta, yes.
He likes caldereta.
Grilled
Beef
squid
caldereta,
and grilled squid.
Well, he also tried
caldereta lately. Adobo's good though.
Meat caldereta. He likes squid, shrimp, chicken, and chicken. Fried chicken. There. And
can a Filipino get a travel visa easy?
To where?
To where?
Christopher Martinez, your
Depends
question.
where you're going, man.
If you are referring to a U.S. tourist visa,
probably not easily.
There are requirements to
It de-
comply with, and
it depends on how much faith they have in you that you'll come back too.
yeah,
That's the main thing, it seems.
yeah. Well, based on stories from friends and people I know, some applied for a tourist visa once, twice, and they were denied. On the third, they got it. For others, they applied once and they got approved right away. So it really varies there. And let's see, what else do we have to read and share with you guys? We're trying to scroll down and trying not to miss anything. Does the American Embassy hire Americans? I
They
think
hire
so.
people of other countries as well.
Yeah, I
We
think
met
so.
didn't we meet like a British guy before that
Oh
worked
no, he
there?
works for the New Zealand
Oh.
embassy, not the U.S. embassy.
I know they
You
hire
can-
Filipinos, the American embassy.
Yeah, yeah, of course they do. They have a page on their website just for job openings, so you can check that out, and the requirements are there as well.
I'm not. It's kind of like the online question too. Some of those jobs for the embassy, I'm not totally sure how much they pay. If you're an American, I'm sure they'll pay you a lot more than
Yeah.
they would pay a local.
Yeah,
Though.
I think for a local, I think it's still a good rate. So, and just check out. They also, indicate how much the rate is for the job available, the position that's available. And Joaquin Silva, my friend studies in Kansas City at the dentist school Centro Escolar. You think it's safe for me to stay there in a hotel? Or should I stay in Makati since I'm Mexican? Well, Joaquin, you want me to...
Quezon City, they hate Mexicans. Makati, they love Mexicans. No, I'm
Just kidding.
it doesn't matter if your friend stays in Quezon City. You should probably stay in Quezon City. The truth is, Quezon City and Makati, they're pretty similar types of areas in terms of like the shopping available and the things to do there available. Quezon City and Makati, they're pretty comparable. But if you want to be close to your friend, stay in Quezon City if that's the deciding
Joaquin,
factor.
let me I just want to clarify. Centro Escolar University, actually for Metro Manila, they are in Manila and one is in Makati. So your friend goes to the one in Manila. That's the main campus. Am I right? Well, if he goes to the Manila main campus of Centro Escolar University, then that is not too far from Quezon City, but you still have to travel to go there. So yeah, if your friend is fine with Quezon City location, then you can go for that. Just choose for a place that's really safe. Say for example, you can see hotels in. If it's Quezon City, my recommendation would be somewhere in Timog or Tomas Moreto Avenue. That's near ABS-CBN, the biggest TV network here, and GMA as well. And there's like a long stretch of restaurants and bars in that area in Quezon City.
The bottom line is find out what you want to do the majority of your time here, like where you want to go, and stay close to that. I mean that's the best advice. If you want to be near your friend, Quezon City's fine. Quezon City's a great place to stay.
Makati is also good. Maybe like somewhere near Greenbelt or Glorieta.
Yeah, they're good. There's a lot of touristy stuff. I
It's
think there's
like
more
a-
touristy
it's
stuff
more like
in
for
Makati.
tourists. Yeah.
So-
And it's pretty safe there as well.
Yeah, I mean, either one I think is fine.
Yeah.
So
And let's try to.
Style says first time he's ever been a part of a live broadcast. Well, thank you for joining us. I see you commenting a lot.
Thank
so
you,
very
Zest
cool.
Style.
But we'll wrap it up here shortly. What else would you like to say?
I thought you were going to talk about Oscars. The Oscars.
Oh, I forgot. This is just for fun stuff, and hopefully it doesn't offend anyone.
Just for fun. Nothing
They
serious.
had that controversy. Everyone's talking about the Oscars right now. Maybe it's all just a publicity stunt so more people tune in. But no black act. It's all white actors that are nominated for all the acting categories. And let me ask you, Imabelle, because first of all, you're not white, and you've worked in the entertainment industry a long time, even if it's not Hollywood or the American
I
entertainment
worked
industry.
with a show in Hollywood, though.
Yeah, you did. You have one Hollywood production credit, which was, what was that?
Deal or No Deal, because Howie Mandel and the team came here and I got to work with them for a taping, for a Philippine edition.
So, and they said they're going to change things so they get more blacks and females and other races, I suppose, as Academy members, and maybe limit the amount of white people they let in so things are more even, I guess. But what do you think about the Oscars being white with all the acting
If
nominations
if
going
they
to
will
whites?
really do that, then they might as well have another category for Asians. I don't know, cause like
Well, they're not going to have another category,
no,
but
I'm
it
just
almost looked like it was going in that direction. Are they going to start a
I
separate
know. I'm
category
just
or a
saying.
quota?
Here's the thing. Look at you're not into pageants, but let's look at um, Miss Universe, and we have different nationalities there. So if the judges decide to choose one American, one Filipino, one Colombian, then that's it. I mean, that's why I mean competition is really tight in that level of competition. Oscars. So if the judges don't decide to choose a black or an Asian because they really believe that the white actor deserves the award, and that's it. What's the issue? I don't really understand why. I've been watching news. I mean, American, U.S. shows, news like whatever we watch on TV, and it kind of blows my mind like why it is such an issue.
Me too, because honestly, these people are all millionaires, and this is what the Oscars is. They're handing themselves awards for doing their jobs. It's like a very beautiful ceremony of Employee of the Month awards for the Oscars. It's millionaires handing themselves awards for doing their job. So it amazes me that they got so much of the public worked up and about this situation when there's such bigger issues to worry about. And in a way, maybe it's kind of a distraction. I know some people like distractions, but it's not really going to help you in your own life working on your own problems. So to be concerned about, oh, Will Smith doesn't get nominated, well, he's already gotten millions of dollars. Sounds like a pretty nice award to me. I also find it ironic that some of these white people like George Clooney are complaining that, yeah, there's not enough black people nominated or getting awards. Well, he's a producer and director. Why doesn't he create some great roles for black people? Isn't it kind of hypocrite? I've seen, some of his movies. It seems most of those people are white. So
And
why
then,
doesn't he do
yeah,
something about it?
it's not like no black actor has been, awarded as best actor, best actress ever, right? I don't really know
Yeah, they've had some for
everything.
Best Actor. Obviously, it's been the majority of white people winning awards. Possibly because it's the majority of white people in the country is the majority, and the majority of people in that industry have traditionally been white. Kind of like here, like how many white or black actors have won Best Actor awards at the Manila Film Festival? I'm guessing not a whole lot.
Also, I mean, like it doesn't mean that only white people are talented or best or
Yeah.
great actors. It's just.
But thank you. Like I'll just wrap it up since it seems we might be having a little bit of internet problems here. But I would say focus on things in your life, especially things that you can control, which, by the way, is going to be most things. You have control over more things than you think you do in life. I know it's easy to make excuses, and sometimes it helps you feel good and helps your ego, but focus on things that you can really do something about in life, and that's going to be the majority of things that you are in control of. I think that you're in control of your own destiny, and kind of how we were talking about earlier, that people that wanted my advice to move to the Philippines. I wrote a book that'll be coming out soon, which can help you. But the bottom line is, I can't necessarily do everything for you. You're going to have to go and if you want to do it, you're going to do it, and you got to commit to something, and you'll find a way definitely. And things like my book, they're just a tool to give you help, I would say. But like I said, everyone wants an easy answer for me, but in reality, they're being of going out about things. They wouldn't work for other people. It'd be completely worthless. So when I was writing the book, I wrote it with that mindset. I want to do something that can help other people, not just say, well, hey, I do this and it works for me. It's not going to work for you, but too bad. But I think a lot of mistake people make is they maybe want to model me, but a lot of the things I do is just not going to work for them. So, it's okay to look at someone and take what you could use, or maybe what you could modify what someone else is doing, but don't get so hung up on what other people are doing too. So, focus on. What, did I miss something?
Just go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. No, go ahead. That's all I
Yeah,
want to say.
well, I'm trying to make sure that we don't miss anything. Like what I said, if we're not able to read your comment, thank you very much. And we have someone, John Quadro from Las Vegas, who joined us as well. Thank you so much. Nicolo Mangmang, thank you for joining us. And, okay, do we, let me see.
Trying to scroll down.
I know, because these are really a lot. Mr. Okay, we read
This is
that.
a good one. Mitten Sony, he says, "Hi Travis, I've been watching you for years. Any advice for aspiring filmmakers, YouTubers? I love your stuff, so inspiring." Well, I went to film school and they teach entire classes on that stuff. I'd say first, what kind of filmmaking do you want to go into? Do you want to do feature films, TV? Do you want to do YouTube stuff? Because you're going to have a separate approach. But
Yeah.
I'll have a video coming out giving some. Well, I was going to do it, then I was thinking about doing it. I was going to do a video about how I got 100,000 subscribers, why it took me so long, and giving the reasons for that and information on that. And if it could help out other people, and they could decide, do they want to do it my way? Or, do they want to, go about things the way I did? But I'll also give them advice to go about things, doing it quicker. And, but success is different for everyone. Everyone has their own definition of what success is. So the best you can do is give, if you want this, you do this. If you want this, try this other thing. And, everyone has their own definition of success. But look out for a video coming out about that. I guess you're showing me you want to see that kind of thing, so maybe I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was going to do it, but then I thought, does my audience really want to see this? Rick Landers says, "Your videos help me prepare for my first adventure for sure. Thanks so much and keep up the good work." Well, thank you very much, Rick.
I'm so glad to hear that, Rick. That's exactly why the ebook will be out, because I think that would be very, very helpful as well. Very, very helpful. And let's see.
I'm scrolling down.
I know. Let's try to have one
We
more
got
minute
Chivas
before we
from
say
Virginia.
bye-bye, I guess. And let's see.
I'm scrolling
Okay,
down.
I
I'm
know.
scrolling past these. It's a little hard to operate this.
Okay.
Oh, Martin is thinking about going to a film school or something instead of a regular college. Well, I went to a regular college, but my degree is in film. And what most film school graduates will tell you, it's not bad, but it's not necessary to work in that industry. You don't really need it. You're probably not going to get hired just because your resume or your degree on a piece of paper. But you would get hired if you met someone in film school, and then maybe they can help you out, because it is a form of network, a form of networking, and of course learning too. So, but it's by no means is it a requisite. Personally, I would say,
Yeah, it is
even
not.
if you want to work in film, probably don't do it unless you're going to go to really one of the exceptional film schools. And the exceptional film schools are like UCLA, USC, located in Los Angeles, maybe like NYU in New York. But I think you'd be better off getting a degree in a more practical thing, and you can still work in film.
That's a very good point, because I know a lot of people, directors, who are not really, graduates of, they didn't take film degree. Some of them are major in mathematics, BS math. Some is, one is, he majored, I think, in, I can't remember, HRM or tourism. So, education, you don't really have to go to film school to be a director or something like that. But yeah,
No.
he's right. If you want to go to one, make sure it's like a prestigious film school, and that would really be.
Not just prestigious, but like the ones in Los Angeles, UCLA, and USC. You're going to have professors that actually work in Hollywood, work on big time stuff, and you're going to be around other people that are going to become big, so they're good people to get to know and meet. Tony Grant TV, hello. Thanks for joining us.
Travis Cheek, it's 1:20 in the morning here. Wow, thank you for joining us, even if it's so late there already. And, okay, what else? So let's see.
I'm scrolling down.
Okay, what was that
I'm
one?
trying not to miss anything before we sign off, but
I know.
there's so much coming in.
Mr. Heavy Metal Hero Dude. Sup, Travis and Imabelle, how are you? Greetings from Canada. Thank you, and hope you are doing well in Canada.
Devin Lewis says he met someone. I don't know what he means by met someone, if that's online or in person. I'm curious if you have a criminal background. I think they want to check if this person that I guess they're dating, I don't know if it's online or in person, if they can do a criminal background check on that person, because he's thinking about marrying her, he says. And I was just thinking about this myself. I think that it's a good thing if you can get a criminal background check on these people or some kind of background check, and there's sites. I think you know more about that than me, though. Do you know the name of one?
Criminal background
I know
in
that
America?
For a Filipino. Do you know any sites
Oh,
that
well,
does a
I
criminal background check on
No, you
Filipinos?
can actually go, I think, check out with the National Bureau of Investigation. It's like the FBI of the Philippines. Because for Filipinos, when like in applying for a job, one of the requirements that they require is a certificate, a clearance from the NBI or National Bureau of Investigation. And if there's something there, if you have like a record, it will be seen there. Although some they just have the same names with the people who really
That could be
committed
a
the crime,
problem.
and that would
That could be a big
problem.
problem
So
because people here a lot of the times they have the
common
same names.
So that's something that you really have to clarify very well. Yeah. And thank you too. Let's see.
I think I'm at the bottom. I think.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time to join us in this live stream, and there will be more to come. And hopefully, the recording, um, the
The
recording,
recording works out well because sometimes
Yes.
it cuts parts out in the
so you can
recording.
still watch this later on the channel.
Yeah, so
And-
hopefully the recording this uploads without glitches where it stops things. I think we lost broadcast at a few parts in
but
this.
thank you for bearing with us. And of course, to our Patreon family, thank you so much. As well as to you guys, all the viewers of the channel. You will keep us, you inspire us to keep doing more. And I just hope that you guys are having a very fun weekend. It's already Sunday here. Whatever it is on your, wherever you are, just enjoy the weekend. And God bless you all.
And we haven't eaten yet, so we're going to go eat. So thank you guys for joining us. We are signing off. Bye-bye.